I'm Ron Hain, and I'm a police veteran with over 20 years of experience here in Kane County. And this is my friend, Ernell Brown.
Thanks, Ron. I'm glad to be here, and I appreciate you inviting me. I'm Ernell Brown, reentry advocate and coach, mentor.
We're going to talk about a very serious issue in America today and Kane County in general, and that's police-community relations. A lot of people are concerned about it, but not a whole lot of people are able to put their finger on the pulse of the issue and also come up with some solutions. But I feel like you and I have talked through this before, and we may have something here. So police, since I became part of the force, have created a good guy versus bad guy mentality. And they've always identified the high crime areas is where we're going to go and battle these bad guys that create crime. Well, unfortunately, our high crime areas have something in common with another demographic, the low income areas. And statistically, it is shown that who lives in the low income areas, but 60 to 70% Black, 20 to 25% Hispanic, and the rest a mix from there. So, you know, the arrest of a father from a generation ago turns into the foot chase of last month with the son, to the fight on the street last week between son and police officer, to the shooting of yesterday, to the riots of today and tomorrow. So I'm very concerned that we need to identify that, number one, in our own communities, and then number two, build on that from there. Your thoughts?
Well, it's a great thing that's something that's identifiable. But if we discuss it in a little more depth, that generational, thing. If we look back, 60s, 70s, 80s, we've seen that progression, and then now we see, the community's response in that. So now we're at the point where we're seeing those riots from the 90s, similar to the Rodney King situation, and think that whole generation of attitude is coming back in a heavier effect. So it's a very, very serious problem.
Several years ago, when I was in charge of the Special Operations Unit for the Sheriff's Office, I designed programs that took us out of the low-income communities, and we focused on the major drug trafficking organizations that were funneling in all of the cocaine and heroin to our streets. At the same time, I believe it's incredibly important to create opportunities within the low-income communities. And I feel like it's incumbent upon public safety officials to get involved in that.
It's important, as you say, to bring those resources back in, and that's part of the problem that never happens. With us bringing these resources in a variety of different ways, starting with jobs, it allows us to not only say what the problem is, but provide a viable and meaningful solution to that problem, that can give that young guy a chance so that he doesn't end up in our prison system costing the taxpayers much more than if he had a job and was able to pay taxes.
So I think it's very important when we are bringing these events into a neighborhood, like we've targeted here in Elgin, what are recognized as low income and even high crime and gang activity areas, where we're going to reach in and provide those opportunities essentially in their own house.
And that's a great point of our collaboration, of telling someone, hey, look, you don't have to sit on your couch because this place will hire you. We know who you are, and they've told us, yes, I'll hire him.
And as a candidate for Kane County Sheriff in 2018, one of my goals is to make a program like this not only out in the communities, but part of the Kane County Jail. So imagine a jail where if you're a sentenced offender, Kane County resident, nonviolent, non-sex offender, you're going to be provided vocational opportunities. You're going to be provided with OSHA certification, with forklift certification while you're in our facility, all provided by current staff. So it's going to be no extra expense to our taxpayers. And then when you go to be released, you're going to get that same database of employers who are willing to hire you. So we're actually helping people step back out into the community a more productive person.
And that's a great way to view this, because without that, there is no progress. There's the same systemic issue of, I don't like you, you don't like me, I don't mean you no good, you don't mean me no good. And it's really a thing in the mind, because in each one of us, we don't desire to have an enemy. So, you know, that person who you view as an enemy reaching his hand out and you reaching yours back, there's no substitute for that. And that's why this is an amazing opportunity for us to bring these jobs to these areas.
Agreed. Arnell, thanks for sitting down and talking with me today.
Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate it.
See you at the next one.
I definitely will.
All right.